Today in class, we are going to talk about how to utilize really good photographic reference in your illustration. So regardless of whether you're drawing or painting, a really good photo can either make it or break it. Whenever I'm doing an illustration, there are key things that I'm looking for in photos. In fact, there are times where I've been offered jobs that sounded fun, and then when I saw the photo reference, I was like, I'm gonna have to pass, because the photo reference was so bad. If you've got bad photo reference to begin with, there's kind of nothing you can do with it. We're hired a lot of times as entertainment illustrators. When I have to paint Lando Calrissian, it's not just that I'm painting Lando, I have to make it look exactly like either Billy D. Williams or Donald Glover. It has to look exact. But if the lighting isn't very good in the photo, there's not really a lot of tricks in how to enhance it without completely changing who the person looks like. There are certain things that you need to have. So I'm going to show you examples of really good photo reference, but I'm also going to show you some examples of really bad photo reference so you guys can decipher the difference. Okay, so this right here, this is actually a really good photographic reference that you could draw from. And the reason why, this has really good examples of form shadow and cast shadow. It's got like kind of the rolling on the arm here. If the light's coming down like this, the arm is rolling into shadow, but then look at that. It's casting a shadow onto the face, and that's a sharp edge shadow. And that's the difference between form shadow and cast shadow. You've got the soft edges and the hard edges. Then the brow right here is rolling into shadow, but you've got the hard edge right under the brow. The nose, the ball of the nose is rolling into shadow softly, but then you've got that sharp edge shadow right under the nose. That lower lip, right there, it's rolling into shadow, but it's casting a shadow onto the chin. And then lastly, you've got the chin rolling into shadow, but then it's casting the chin and jaw onto the shoulder. So if you were to draw this, this would be really easy. Or if you were to paint this, all you would have to do, first of all, there's really good contrast between where the light is and where the shadow is. And then you've got your hard edges and your soft edges all planned out for you. So this would actually be really, really good to draw. What not to draw? Ashley, I'm so glad you're my sister. So this is really weird, and you get this a lot with paparazzi photos. And the problem is, whoever took this photo, they had their flash on, which lights up the face, but because the light is coming from exactly the same angle as the photo is being taken, it just basically flattens out the whole face, and it's weird. There's no shadows. I mean, with all due respect to these girls, I'm sure they're beautiful in real life, but it looks like they got punched in the face. If you were to draw this, it would just be like eyes and teeth, right? So this one, no, you don't want that. Anytime you've got old school Hollywood lighting, it usually works very well. Black and white photos, especially if they're outside in the sunlight, all you have is contrast. So they knew back then having little bits of shadow is actually a good thing. Okay, so a lot of these references that I grabbed from GQ magazine a couple years back. So if you see like a banana hammock on the back or something like that, it's GQ magazine, so sometimes, okay, never mind. For those of you that are working traditionally, where you're either drawing on paper or you are painting either on canvas or illustration board, the reference you're using, you want to be printed, either from a magazine, or it could be from a book or a trading card, or you could be printing your reference from online or something like that. You want it to be printed, and the reason why is because if you're looking directly at an iPad where the light is shooting directly into your eyes, or you're looking at your phone and then you're moving to the illustration board where light is not shooting into your eyes, there's a huge disconnect there, and your eyes have to keep adjusting from one to the other, and so you're kind of losing the contrast and value and the colors, and it's just completely different. Now, if you are illustrating something on an iPad or a Wacom tablet or something like that, then yeah, having reference that's already on screen totally works, because you're constantly looking at light that's shooting into your eyeballs. But because of the demos that I'm going to be doing that are traditional, I'm going to be using printed photographic reference. That's going to help quite a bit. Now, this is another bad example. Here's Julia Roberts. She was in a movie way back before you were born called Pretty pretty woman. But right here, not looking so pretty. And again, the reason why, it's the flash. I don't mean to say she's not looking pretty. She's gorgeous, but I don't know, like, it's with a flash. It's just not good. There's no form to the face without having those little shadows. We don't want that. Oh, but look at this. Here we go. There's the pretty woman that we remember. So here she is. She's on stage. It's really good lighting. Fantastic. You can see the little bit of shadow under the nose, little bit of shadow onto the neck, and this looks fantastic. Sport photos are usually pretty awesome, especially if they were outside in the sunlight. If you look here, you can see that the grill of this football helmet, you can see the shadows casting onto this guy's face. If you look at his guns right here, you can see the hard edge shadow casting onto this gun show, and then this arm right here is rolling into shadow, and then check it out, it's actually, the arm is casting a shadow onto the leg. So this is actually really good photo reference. Not to be confused with what's a good photo and what's a good photo reference. This might be a great photograph because it's kind of timeless, and oh, isn't that sweet? It captures Gramps and this little brat who gets to go to Disneyland twice a year. Everything's in shadow. You can tell there's bright sunlight kind of on the shoulder here. The sunlight was behind them, so they're completely in shadow. If you were to draw this, you just wouldn't have as much to draw. There isn't as much to help show the forms of the face. So this photo clearly was good enough actually for Disney to use for their advertising. But to use this for a photographic reference that you'd be drawing or painting, not going to be good enough. Shaken, not stirred. So this works out well. This is fantastic. You've got the awesome noir lighting with the shadows under the brow, the nice shadow under the nose. Upper lip is in shadow. His cheekbone is kind of going over into shadow over there. This one works out awesome. This chick is totally rad, but again, she's completely in shadow. So I guess this kind of shows the hair well, but if you were to draw this or paint this, would not work well. One of the reasons why really good lighting is awesome is even from far away, you can totally tell who this is. Even from these little small faces. Because of the little shadows on the face, it really just defines the forms really well. All right, I'm going to be honest, it's really hard to make Sarah Michelle Gellar look bad, and this is a really cool photograph. But if you were to draw this or paint this, this would be incredibly difficult because the light is just coming from the camera. It's completely flattening out her face. If you were to draw this, it would just be eyes and lips, and that's it. So you definitely want to find something that has a little bit more to work with. This is actually a pretty good photo here, this Guess jeans. You can actually see not only are his pecs casting onto his arm, but his nip is casting. There's a little shadow of his nip right there on his arm. Again, in a magazine like this is kind of cool, but if you were to draw this, like what do you have? You have eyes and 2 dots for the nostrils. This wouldn't work well. Again, GQ magazine, it stands for Gentleman's Quarterly, but sometimes you get like some kind of funny photos like this. This actually has awesome lighting. So check it out. The lighting you can tell is coming from this angle here, and the light, you can see the light is hitting the arm here. It's casting a shadow onto this side of the hip. Then the gluteus maximus is rolling into shadow here. Then it's casting a shadow. You can see the light starting abruptly again on this side of the gluteus maximus. And then this leg is actually casting a shadow over onto this leg here. That's actually fantastic lighting. If you were to draw this, it would work out well. Read. Now, I think Amanda Peet, I forget who she is, but I think she's beautiful normally. But man, you put a camera in someone's face with the light coming the same way, and it's just not doing anyone any favors, and it certainly would be hard to draw. A lot of times when you have dramatic lighting, when you've got drama, you've got the shadows, and shadows are your friend. So a lot of times I'll hear amateur photographers say things like, get rid of the shadows, get rid of the shadows. And they're using all these reflector dishes to like bounce out and have no shadows whatsoever. But when you do that, again, it's just like everything becomes pasty white and you've just got nothing to work with, especially for photo reference that we're going to be drawing from and painting from. Something like this would be fantastic. All right, I'm going to quiz you, James. Is this good lighting or bad lighting on Jennifer Hudson?
I'd like to say good lighting.
It is good lighting. It's very good lighting, and you can clearly see the dramatic shadows. You can see the hard edges and the soft edges. Very good. You know, it was good enough to put on the cover of a magazine, but you've just got nothing to work with on this power couple, Sarah Michelle and Freddie Prinze. So this, don't want to draw that. This is kind of cool. You might not even be able to tell what it is at first, but based on the shadows, it's two people about to suck face. That's pretty rad. That's pretty sweet with the form shadow and the cast shadow. So this one's actually good. I don't know what photo of my ex-girlfriend Adriana Lima was doing in this stack, but this happens to also be very good lighting. And usually almost anything outside, when you've got the sunlight, when you've got a single dominant light source, you're usually good to go. So these are the key things that you are looking for when you're doing a drawing, when you're doing a painting, when you have those little shadows, when you have that contrast in the face, you're just able to capture the form so much better. You want to start looking for that. If you have amazing reference, it's already, you know what, you're already halfway there, and it's just really going to make a difference in your drawing and your painting. When you don't have good reference, there's nothing you can do. I've had students before ask, well, can't I just make up shadows? You make up shadows, it's going to look like your face is made up, and parts of it are going to look realistic, and then parts of it are really going to be Frankenstein and look awful. It's certainly not going to look like the person you're intending to draw. You want to try to draw what you see, and the better your reference is, the better you are for your painting. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer.
Probably your ex-girlfriend.
Adriana Lima? You really thought Adriana Lima was my my ex-girlfriend?
Oh, no. Matt, you're a rock star, so I figured anything's possible.
Sure. No, Adriana Lima probably does not even have any clue who I am.
Her loss.
But thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys like this video that helped you totally, I just totally saved your life right now on how to get good photo reference. If you think that's a good thing, you should give me a like. Also, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys look for. Do you have any tips for finding good photo reference? Are there certain things that you guys like to look for? If you haven't subscribed yet, why not also hit that notification bell? And last but not least, you should share this video with all your artist friends so they can start using good reference too. Also, Instagram, you can follow me at Matt_Busch_Instagram.